The more I hear about Harry Potter HBO, the more it sounds like it's gonna be a complete cluster bomb of just bull nonsense. Okay, it's like a dung bomb of disaster. It is just like this is going to be probably the most high profile flop the series has ever seen. And like, yeah, I think people made excuses for like Secret Child, the stupid play, like, and how it was like published in a book as one point as like the eighth Harry Potter book. I think people were like misled. Like, the Secrets of Dumbledore and like the Fantastic Beast movies, those were awful. Like, the series like Hogwarts Legacy, the video game, which honestly was probably the best attempt they've ever made at expanding the universe outside of like Harry Potter himself. It was just like, it was just a complete mess. It was just a complete train wreck. And now we're dealing with like Harry Potter HBO with like Black Snape and just these really bizarre decisions, right? Like they're already talking about like how they're going to take like multiple years to do this show, and it just feels like it's undoable. And it hasn't even premiered yet, and yet we already have our first major recasting in which Ginny Weasley has been recast for season 2. So apparently she's already like finished filming, and like they're going to use her for season 1 anyway, but like she's gonna be recast by season 2. And it just seems like a really odd situation because like they came out and they said like it was due to unforeseen circumstances. Like what was the unforeseen circumstance? Like did she pull out because it was so unbelievably embarrassing? Like were you gonna try to race swap her? Were you gonna try to like, I don't know, like humiliate her somehow, like making Ginny look bad? I don't know, like I don't understand the mindset behind this, but it's kind of an unprecedented thing, I think, in that you have like all these really bizarre casting choices, and then you have like situations like this where mysteriously Ginny Weasley leaves the production. Why? Like they're making it sound like it was her choice or was like due to circumstances, but like I really wonder if it's because they noticed that like they actually had cast like a bunch of redheads. If you don't know, there's a trend in Hollywood where they try to like cast redheads as black. So like initially they had cast a bunch of redheads for the Weasleys, which was very very unusual in today's ecosystem. So in today's like political landscape. So like I wonder if they like wanted to get rid of her for the potential of casting like a black chick as Harry's love interest. Cause like after all like the backlash they got towards Black Snape, which is like objectively retarded, and everybody has like a big issue with it because it's so unbelievable. It's like it's downright lore breaking and ridiculous. Okay. Like Black Snape was bad enough, but I really doubt they're gonna stop there. They're gonna like go to great lengths to shove as much diversity in the plot as possible. Like I would not be surprised if like we go through like a pretty significant number of like weird race swaps and just I mean Hermione is like some weird like Indian chick. I don't know what the hell she is. But like um yeah, Hermione already looked bad. So like Ginny was actually pretty hyped when they first showed her off because like, oh yeah, she actually looks like the character. But like recasting her at this stage, just before she becomes relevant in book 2, because of course like book 2 like it's all about her essentially. Like that should be like a red flag for everybody. Okay, this is something that like I feel as if we really need to like be talking about going into this production, that like we are going to be seeing like the most insane lore changes and retcons like imaginable. Like I think a lot of the people involved like don't even haven't even read the books and are doing everything they possibly can to kind of subvert and destroy them. So like I'm just kind of like I'm kind of wondering how that's going to play out, honestly, because Black Snape is the kind of woke shit that like people who would never have like even come up with. It just seems like kind of a parody of itself. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's like Harry Spotter or something, where they're all like bodybuilders. It's like a fucking joke, honestly. But they're like gonna try and pass it off like completely seriously, and they're gonna try and just like pull all this nonsense. Like I just don't. I the other side of the coin. Okay, like if the girl left of her own volition, if she just left the production, broke her contract or whatever, um, it very well may have been because like she saw what a mess this production was, like how unprofessional everyone is, how delusional they are, how they're like how they hate the source material. Like imagine if you're a kid and you're on board with the Harry Potter show and like it's a dream come true, you love the books, and then like some some weirdo tries to like tell you that like all right Ginny, we're gonna have you uh not be into Harry Potter. We're gonna have you like be a girl boss, like at 10 years old. You're gonna like not care about Harry Potter at all. You're gonna shit on him. You're gonna say he's not shit. You're gonna save yourself from the Chamber of Secrets. And she's just gonna be like, but that's not what my character is though. Like like even a child I think can kind of see like how disrespectful these kind of like woke changes can be, and like maybe she didn't want any part of it, maybe. Like obviously she's very young and this is like a role that could potentially be life changing, but like I don't know, man. If she may have bailed at just the right time. Okay, like I imagine if this show comes out and it flops and everybody hates it and like it doesn't even like finish its full run, which I think is actually very possible. Like imagine what a hero she's gonna look like. When she comes back and she's just like, yeah, I bailed the instant they told me I wasn't comfortable with what they wanted me to do. Okay, like how amazing is that gonna be? Like if that happens. Now I'm not saying it will happen, but I do think the way we're gonna beat woke culture is just by like acknowledging just how ridiculous it actually is. Like you do need to have cast members speak out. You do need to have people in the production crew. The directors need to be told to fuck off with their weird like political pandering, okay? Like I don't want like any Hollywood changes or adjustments or like modernizations. Like I want a straight adaptation of the source material. And that's kind of how we should approach these kind of things going forward, is that like I don't want any kind of changes at all. Like just adapt the source material. That's it. That's all you have to fucking do. And you can't even like use the excuse that like, oh yeah, we don't have time to do it in a 2 hour long movie, because you're not in a 2 hour long movie, you're in an HBO show. So you have all the time you want to develop the characters. And like the way it's looking now is that they're going to use that extra time to like make the series incredibly woke. They're going to make it like incredibly shitty. It's going to be like incredibly bad, seeing like how how this show plays out. Okay. But like yeah, the fact that we're like seeing stories like this come out like regularly about like what a mess this production is, like I hope this is the breaking point where people just say like no more to like Wizarding World stuff, no more to like Harry Potter, because like it's just embarrassing, honestly. Like it was embarrassing back when the movies were first getting produced, but like it's bad. It's crazy like how far it's got, how bad it's gotten, and how people just haven't really like taken a stand against it. At this point, like Rowling herself is kind of powerless, because I keep seeing people say that like, well, she would put a stop to it if she wanted to, but like, well, first of all, she doesn't want to, and second of all, like the production crew has the right to do whatever they want. Honestly, like it very much is kind of like it very much is kind of a George Lucas situation now, where she like technically created the source material and people technically show some respect for her, but like we have to acknowledge that she's like behind 99% of woke issues. Like other than like the Troon thing, she's on board with like all these race swaps and all this weird shit. Like we really do have to like disavow like Rowling as well in a certain respect, in certain respects, right? It's becoming more and more common. We have to acknowledge that Dumbledore was never gay. Okay, it's in the text, bro. Like she made that up for political pandering. So after the books were finished, for political pandering, I should say. So like it's something that like we do have to like address and bring up and denounce. And it all starts here. It all starts with us acknowledging that no, this show is going to be complete crap. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to I can't wait until people use AI to replace Black Snape with Alan Rickman, which you just know is going to happen, by the way. Like, there's no avoiding it at this point. Like, this kind of propaganda just doesn't work, honestly. Like, we're on the verge of these kind of bizarre race swaps being like completely ineffectual because it's going to be like very easy for like fans to just race swap Snape back. Like every time they do this, like they're gonna make Helena Troy black. Oops, now she's played by some like '60s like sex bomb. I don't know, like I don't know my '60s starlets, but like like an actual woman who actually looks the part, right? Like there's just nothing you can do. Like well you're gonna have to see it in the theaters. Nobody's gonna see it in theaters. Nobody. It's gonna be like the Star Wars thing. Like who the fuck remembers like everything that happens in the original theatrical cut of Star Wars? Like George Lucas made his changes, and like those are the ones that people are more familiar with now. That's gonna be every movie with the advent of AI. If you look up, you're gonna look up Black Snape on YouTube, and immediately it's just gonna be like, comparison videos between like him and Rickman, like AI Rickman. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But like, it does need to stop. Okay, like if Hollywood wants people to support them and actually watch their shit, they have to stop bungling these kind of productions because this should have been a huge hit. This was absolutely like how they could have gotten a new generation into Harry Potter. This could have been like a big thing for like the next generation of fans, but they just completely blew it. They just completely ruined it. And yeah, as it so happens, we don't really need this series because kids can still watch like the original movies. They can still read the books. They're not going anywhere. But like this adaptation, this series, it's a complete travesty, and it absolutely needs to be treated as such.